Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Dora and I am here to do the last day of September's journal challenge, and it is circles and squares. So everything doesn't have to be circles and squares, but in my previous video of my 10 crafty questions, I did punch out some different circles and squares and some butterflies and some things. So anyways, I wanted to show something different that you guys may or may not know. I have anytime I go to like Home Depot, Lowe's, places like that that sell paint, they always give you free paint sample paint, whatever these are called, paint samples cards. So anyways, I like getting the ones that are longer, you know, the big ones, because they're already shaped like tags. You don't even have to cut them. I mean, you know, some of them are square, which you could, you know, cut the sides if you wanted, but some, like these, the tops are like rounded off, so it already has that tag impression. So anyways, I wanted to use some of these for a couple of tags to make today. Maybe give you guys a different idea, or maybe, you know, instead of using a background color or anything like that, you already have your background colors instead of plain white. So I picked out some random colors. So we have Bear Rug, which is a dark brown. We have Dark Berry, which is like a plum. We have Dark Everglade, which is a deep green. We have Classic Gold, which is a gold color, but more like a antique-ish type color. We have Olympic Bronze, Mountain Pine, which is a little more blue, like a blue-green. And then we have Eastern Bamboo, which is a deep green. So we have these. Now, we probably won't do them all, but I at least want to pick out one of each. So we are going to do that one. So that is a dark brown. And then I do want to do the green one, and I think I'm going to do another big one, and I think I want to do the gold. So let's do these. We'll put those to the side. I already inked up all the little bits so that way it would kind of go a little bit faster. I got some extra papers over here, my rip ruler. I've got some fabrics, some little tidbits and whatnot. So I want to do maybe a pocket, like a pocket tag, to put these little tags that I cut out with my little die. Maybe put a couple of these inside, since these will fit nicely in these. So let's do that. Let's just do it. Okay, so color schemes, right? Okay, so we have a dark one here, and I have these keys, which will go lovely. Look at that, nice steampunky colors, right? So let's do a pocket out of this, but first I want to cut this off so I can get this strip of keys right here. Okay, so let me grab my scissors, not the ones that need to be cleaned, but the other ones. Okay, so we're going to cut this top section off here straight as we can. Doesn't have to be too straight because I have to cut it around the bottom where it curves anyways, so that's okay. I'm gonna flip it over. That's the bottom. I'm just going to line it up the best I can here, the whole thing, and then I'm gonna cut down away from it. I'm going to put a clip on it just so it doesn't move on me. Okay. Just going to go right around the edges. Okay, so there is that. Oh, that looks great. So I'm going to take this off, and because this paper is thin, I'm just going to fold it over to make it thicker. And it's already cut, so you just need to line it up. I'm going to leave a little space at the top there, like so. And then we have a perfect little pocket. Isn't that the coolest thing ever? That is so cool. Okay, so then I want to glue all of this shut. So let me grab my glue book so I don't make a mess everywhere else, and a glue stick. And let me see here. What side do I want to use? Ooh, I like that side better. Where was it? I like that side better. Okay, so that'll be the outside. Have to remember that. Keep that in mind. And then I'm just going to close that right up, the whole thing. Just like so. This way the pocket is thicker, and then you don't have to worry about the pocket coming off. Okay. So there is the front of the pocket. Isn't that cool? That is super cool. Very, very cool. I like it. Okay, so let's put these to the side for a moment. And then before we attach it on here, let's see. I do want to put a little bit of this washi. Not much, just a little accent piece. This is small washi. Maybe about right there. Yep. And then I want to add, I have these little cute button dies. They're so cool. And then I also have these little round ones that I was clipping out today. So I want to put this on the back of that. Does that make sense? Like that. So instead of doing the sewing machine today, I want to show you guys that it does not take very much time or effort to hand sew the little pieces like this onto each other, or whatever your project is. Everybody says, oh my gosh, you could thread a needle so fast. No. My needles I get with a big eye because I can't thread a needle. So the needles that I get always have a bigger eye so that I can see and get through there easier. But I do want to show you a trick. If you hold the end in your fingers and you put the end of the needle inside, okay, so you have the front part here. If you grab this back and you wrap it 3 times, grab a hold of it and pull it through, it knots. You don't have to mess with it. It knots it very, very quick and easy. I'll do it again if you want me to in another video, but just to save you some time there. Quick and easy way to knot thread. So this just has 4 little holes in it, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am just going to, as if I was doing a button. So let me get the needle in here first. There we go. Right? And not too many times, just to make it look like it's an actual button versus something that is not a button. Paper, or, make it look a little more authentic. Not too many, just once through each side. That's all you got to do. See? So now you have the X that makes it look like a button. And then on the back, all you have to do is just go under and then through. Pull it tight as if you were doing a regular button on the back of a pair of pants. It's still tied on the front, still tied on the back, okay? And for extra security, you can always do it again. But that's totally up to you. You don't have to. It's going to get glued down anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And then you just snip the end. Very quick, very easy. So now you have a little button tab. Okay, so we want to put this on the front like this, but I do want to put a little bit of fabric. And so this is deeper colors, but I don't want to use black because you see how the black kind of blends in a little bit. So what I would like to do is take a piece of this, and it's got thread already through it where I was messing around, so I want to use this side, but only a small piece, not a big piece. So I'm going to cut that down, maybe like so, over here with the washi, like this, and then put this maybe like so, just to kind of give it a different look and feel, maybe a different texture, button, fabric, keys, and then that will go on the pocket like this. And then for this one, I wanted to put in this little tag that I made, and it's all glittery. It's so cool. I love this little tag. It came out really well. So it's got glitter and things like that. And so when you put it in, you can always test it beforehand. It looks wonderful. Backgrounds and the front images, it looks great. So I think that is what I'm going to do. So I am just going to glue this down. Let me close up my glue stick. And I am going to grab my tacky glue, my Eileen's tacky glue. Okay, and then I'm only going to glue down just so far. I'm not going to go all the way across, if that makes sense, because I want a little bit of it to kind of move around. So we're going to put that right there. Push it down just a little bit, and then we're going to put down the button. And right on the thread, so the thread doesn't come undone. Let's see, I want it to go that way. Just like that. Yes, just like that. And then we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to put my finger here, and we're going to go ahead and glue around the back. Let me see here. Okay, I need to grab the other side. Let me do that, because this is the side I need to glue down. Right? Yeah. And yes, as you know from my previous videos, I have glued down totally the wrong side of pockets. I have wanted a pocket and glued down the whole page. You know, it happens. It does happen. But that's okay. Mistakes are meant to be made. And that is how we all learn, right? That's how we learn. And I am okay with that. Now I'm not pressing it down or doing it with my bone folder because I don't want it to smear out everywhere. I just want it to lay right where it is. Okay. Without moving. Okay. Now, do need to push this down just a little bit. I may have to put, yeah, I think I'm going to have to put that right there, because that's the part that's not wanting to lay down very well. And just to kind of keep it from moving around. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to set that over there to dry. And then now our next one, while that one is drying, is our gold one. And for our gold one, I have a green little tag, okay? And we could even do a double pocket if it comes to mind, but that one would also look good. And as you can see, I punched it upside down. See, it should go that way with the birdies. See, mistakes happen, right? But that's okay. I can use it in my journal. I don't really care. So this one goes with that, and it kind of ties in all that back together. So let us see what we have for this. And I have these beautiful flowers here that I think would go wonderful. I don't usually use paper like this, and I have tons of it over there. So I figured, why not? Let's do it, right? Okay, so same thing, except this time this is a bigger tag. So I think I'm going to do a bigger pocket instead. Well, no, we could do a double pocket, but I want to get one of these flowers in here first. And then maybe for the other pocket, maybe this brown flower here for the top one. You know what I mean? Okay, and so let's see. Let's go about right there. Yeah, that works. That works. And I'm going to use my, well, no, won't be able to do that because it won't fit over. So let's see if we can get one side cut, and then we'll push it down and hold it. Is it still straight? I don't think it's straight. Okay. There we go. I'm going to hold the bottom because I know the bottom is straighter than the other side. So, oh, we got the flower. Okay, so let me just straighten up this edge over here just a tad. There we go. Put that back over there. Put this to the side. Okay, now this one I'm not going to fold over. This one here I'm going to leave just like, it kind of looks like a jean pocket. Okay, so there's that. And then for the top pocket, I kind of wanted to do that piece right there, the brown piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my pencil, and I'm just going to mark the edges here. It's in no way probably going to be straight at the moment, but that's okay. I'm just kind of cutting it down so I can get a better idea here. Straighter than I thought, but that's okay because it's going to go down underneath a little bit of this pocket, so we want to have that showing there. So we want it to be about there. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it as straight as I can on that line. And hope it's not crooked. Right? I'm just going to tear it off. Just a little pocket up here. It almost goes with that. Looky there. If that was overset just a little bit. And maybe we will do it like that. Maybe I will take that top off of there just so that stands out more. I do think I'm going to do that. right now. Take out my little cutter here. Probably will not cut straight, but that's okay. Let's see how that looks. Maybe a little bit more, a little bit more. Okay, let's try that. Let's try that. Okay. Yes, that looks a lot better. It's not, I don't have it on there straight right now, but that's okay. That looks a lot better for a double little pocket. That looks wonderful. Okay, so let's put that to the side. And then on this one here, I'd like to put a couple of butterflies and some of the floral roses, just to kind of bring out some of the color, maybe. So I've got some little red stamps, stamp type cuts here with my punch. And so I was thinking maybe that and maybe a butterfly or something on here. Or even up at the top, even just maybe do something up there. Maybe a little let's do some green. Since this has got green in it. Okay, so we'll do about half that. Thinking as I go, guys, just thinking as I go. Taking you guys along for the ride. Okay, and then we have some orange here. Ooh, that would look nice. Look at that. That would look wonderful right in the middle. Yes. And then what we could do, since we used the circle ones last time, we can use the little square ones over top of the little stamp edged one. Look at that. See? Looks great. So what are we going to do? Since this only has 2 holes in it, we're just going to sew 2 holes. So here we go. I'm gonna do it a little faster this time, but if you can keep up here. End, beginning. In, 1, 2, 3. Pull it back into your fingers, pull it through, and you have a knot. Okay, so now this one should be easier because the paper is not as thick. This one here, I'm also going to do 2 times through, just to hold that the paper is a little thinner. Maybe 3. Let's just do 3, just to be safe. That way we're covered. Yeah, there we go. But this time, because the paper is so thin, I am going to actually tie a knot with the thread that was in the back. I'm going to do it doubled. Just like so. Then we're going to snip that off like that. And then we are going to put that on there like that. Oh, that's going to look great. Look at that. Look at that. Just a little something. And then we could put the butterfly at the top, and that would be perfect. That would be absolutely perfect. Okay, so let's get that glued down only here on the corner. So it's okay if it shows through the fabrics and the ribbons. we're going to cover it up with the button anyhow, so. Got a little glue on my fingers, so I'm picking everything up. I do love Eileen's Tacky Glue. It is so wonderful. And I'm going to put this one at an angle this time. So we're just going to lay that down right there. And the glue is going to come up through the threaded holes, and that's okay. I'm just going to run my finger right across to clear that off. No big deal. And then I'm going to take my small one over here, which I think that would be dry now, and I'm just going to hold it down on the whole thing. And allow that to dry just slightly before we glue it down. This one here I can go ahead and glue down. Actually, what I'm going to do here is make a mark where I want this one to be. About right there. So I can line it right back up. Okay. And I normally don't measure for anything, but this time around I am. Okay, so the other one I didn't do because it's already, you know, like that, but this one here I am going to ink up just slightly, not too much, just slightly, just to kind of bring that edge out along with the where I dyed around everything else. And we want it to be that way, so we will glue these edges. Whoops, not that part, that's for sure. And I think my bottle is got a dry spot on the tip of it because it's coming out all wonky. Yep, so I'm going to have to run my finger down it. Okay. That's all right. There we go for that one. Like so. Let me wipe my finger off. Okay, and then while that's drying for a moment, let's just check it out. Look at that. Came out wonderful, didn't it? That looks amazing. Okay, so then you have a little pocket, right? You could take your crocodile and you could put a little hole here, or you could put two of them on the edges. You can put this in here, and you can have one in the center. It's totally up to you. You could put bulb pins in there and hang charms on them. You could have it as a floater, as anything that you want to use it for. I personally like them just like this. And then I will take this and glue the whole thing down to the page. If you want to cover the back of it, you're more than welcome to. But I think it adds little different uniqueness and character to a little pocket. You know what I mean? So there's that one. And then for this one here, let's take this off and let's see if it's held down enough to where we can glue this section down. I think it is. Okay, so let's get the sides of this one down. Yep, it's coming out all weird. I'm going to have to take a safety pin or something and go through the cap. Okay, so now we want this one to be down here with just a little bit of that gold showing. In the corner, because I did not get it straight. That's okay. It's all okay. Like I said, mistakes happen. You can learn from my mistakes. That's what we're here for, right? It always happens though. When you're on camera, you always make mistakes. When you're off camera, it seems like everything goes great. And that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Alrighty, looky there. See? Came out wonderful. Now for this, I'm going to use my glue stick. And what I do for that, to make it easy on myself, because it's so thin. Put the cap back on that. Is I make sure that I have enough out so it doesn't hit the plastic piece. Can you see that? Yeah. You can't see the butterfly just yet. I hold down the tips of the wings where the antennas are, and then I just dab it on the page like so, and that just kind of leaves that glue on there from the glue stick. And then I just move my fingers just gently, holding it down, going a few times here just to ensure I got every piece. And then I just place it right on the top here, and without anything smooshing out around the edges, you have a nice detailed butterfly. Wonderful. Wonderful. Yay. All right, that was cool and fun and exciting. So now we have this double tier pocket, and so we can put the birdies in the back where the butterfly is, and then we can do our little green one down here where the flowers are. Like so. And then again, you could put little holes up here at the top, or you could put them there, or you could have it as a floater. You could decorate the back. It's all up to you. It's wonderful. And these samples, these are thick. They're like thick cardstock. So, I mean, they hold up really, really well. And I love doing these. It's something different, something fun. So we're going to set that to the side and let it finish drying. And then we have our green one here, but we're going to do something totally different with this one. Okay. And so I have some already butterflies over here that will go wonderful with this. As you can see, matches up really nice, but I can do it this way so it matches. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn it sideways. So you see where all the wording is? All that's going to get covered up. We're going to do a long tag across. Okay? So I am going to put this right there. Like so. Make sure that's on there like it should be, because it does curve in places. Okay, and I'll put a binder clip on one side to hold that down, and also on the other side, so none of it moves as I go around. And once again, let's see if we can get this straight. Well, that's a lot straighter than the other ones. Okay, so we're going to set that to the side for now. Okay, so for this one here, we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to fold it over and make this paper a little bit thicker because it is thin paper. So let's do that really quick. And this is just going to be a little tuck spot, little extra tuck spot in a journal, or maybe an altered book. Okay. And so you can see that it still lines up. That side is not lining up with that side, so let's trim that down just a little hair. Okay. There we go. And so it lines up, and now you have a half fold. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down to the page. Yep. You know what? I'm gonna have to grab my other glue because that's just too wonky for me. I'm gonna grab my Scotch glue. Scotch Crafter's glue. And use it. It does take a little bit more time to dry, but that's okay. Line that up the best we can. Now this one here, I am going to go across with my bone folder. Because I want that glue to smear all the way down around the edge. Because I'm sure you noticed, and you probably were thinking as I was going along, you didn't glue the inside, Dora. You didn't glue the inside shut. And so now it's open. You see it? So once it dries, I'm gonna have to come back and put a little glue in there to seal that up. Okay, so this is on there. Looks wonderful, right? Blends in really nice. Okay, so I'm gonna move these over here a little bit out of my way. Okay, there we go. And then so this here is like a butterfly type. I have a little thicker cutout of a butterfly that we could put up here in the corner, but I think that would be too much, right? Okay, so what I'm thinking is this could be a little side tuck into an envelope or something like that. So I wanted to put some of those up there. And I also wanted to put some of these flower pieces like this. And then this little itty bitty tiny button that I have from my die. Look at how cute that little button is. Right? Okay, so we are going to do this the same way. We're going to sew that on. Okay. So here we go again. End, tip, end. Oops, not that side. 1, 2, 3. Push it back. Grab a hold of it. Pull it through. Okay, so I'm going to pull this through the back first, and then I'm going to do that because this paper is that thick paper again. There we go. And it's okay if it's offset a little bit, that just adds character. And I am going to do this one like I did the other two, is So I'm going to go through it just a couple of times just to ensure that it stays on there, even though we're gluing it. This one I'm only going to go twice instead of 3 times. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the back with this one. I'm just going to wrap it around my finger, swoop through the loop with the needle, and do a double knot. Like so. So now that one is done. We're going to snip that off. And so now we have a little dually flower button. Pretty cool. Okay, so that one would go over there. I want to keep that green butterfly so it matches in with this. This will tie in with that. Perfect. I do want to add a little vintage lace and maybe a little bit of this pink, purple, plummy color, because this actually matches some of the butterflies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the lace over top of this just to kind of dull it down just a slight, but you can still see it. Get some of that off. I'm going to put this right up behind it, like so. Almost kind of like a banner type, like that. So there's still a little glittery back there that you can see, and you can still see the plum, but you see more of the vintage lace than the plum, which is great, which is what I'm looking for. So I'm going to glue that down. Should have kept this upside down. That's okay. This time I'm going to put it onto the back of these two, because it's going to go right through them both. And I'm going to put that just right about there. And then I'm going to put some on the back of the button, right over top of the thread. A little bit around the sides. So do we want it that way? I want it that way. I like it better that way. And then we're going to shake it just like that. And I'm just going to kind of hold it there for a moment, just to let it settle. And then I have my little script tag that I did, I can stick in there. And my floral tag that I did, that I can stick in there. And because I have an extra little floral music, I can also put that in there as well if I wanted to, because it's a long pocket. It works perfect for these little tags. So I'm going to hold that for just a little bit, just this moment, and then I got to put these on here as well, but I'm going to do these a little bit different. Okay, so these, let me put the cap back on this. Because I don't want it swooshing out everywhere, I am going to use my glue sticks on a glue stick. And I'm going to place just right, like so, without touching the top. I'm going to flip it over. Whoops. Let's not do that, Dora. Okay. Then I'm going to do the other side, but I'm going to start at the top of this one so that it levels out, it becomes even. Like so. And then I just kind of smoosh them together. Isn't that the new term? Smooshing. It's probably an old term. I just recently heard it and was cracking up. Smoosh it. You know, it's great. I love it. Okay, so now that is going to dry, and I think we are going to do that. I think we are just going to put these in here together, like so. All 3 of them. Just like that. See, but then you cover that up, and I never really thought about that. So, let's see. Yeah, see? then you cover that up. I wonder if you, oh, looky there. Look at that. You could put them in sideways. Isn't that perfect? That's perfect. And then you can slide it right in and out of your journal or your altered book or however you want to use it. How wonderful is that? And these are just paint samples. I mean, you know, perfect way to use paint samples. And like I said, they're already rounded, and I mean, it takes a little extra work to get your paper around it maybe for some people, but I think it's totally worth it. I hope you do too. So guys, thank you so much for joining in, and I'm going to put up our little creations here so that you guys can see them again before you leave. And this is what we created with just circles, squares, paint chip, paint samples, some die cuts, and some scrap paper. So I want to thank you guys for coming by and joining me today. And I also want to thank my new subscribers and for all the lovely comments that I've been getting and the messages. It's very much appreciated, and I thank you so much. For a long time I was afraid to, you know, share my work and what I do, and you guys in this community have really made me feel welcomed, and I appreciate it very much. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye now.